And we are live. Hello, everyone. This is My Two Cents. Usually I only do one of these per month, but I decided to have a second Patrons Hangout. I host these streams at least once a month, and it's just an opportunity for those that support my channel financially to hang out with me and talk about whatever's on their minds. So we talk about some super serious stuff sometimes and some super not serious stuff. It's kind of just a mix, so... I'll be keeping my eye on the comments section, but this should just be a fun time to hang out. So right before we get started here, Nate the Volunteerist was bringing up that he recently found out that Olive Garden, among a list of other restaurants, are currently being boycotted. And I believe you just sent the link, so I'm going to pull it up here. But you want to quick summarize what you said before we got started?
So Olive Garden is apparently being boycotted simply because they are supporting Trump's re-election.
Okay, Newsweek article says viral tweet shows a number of fast food chains that are, or just food chains that are supporting Trump's re-election that are now being boycotted.
Press F for my demise right there.
I'm not in the chat, so I don't see it.
Yeah, Nate dropped out, but he's back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
StreamYard's still working all those kinks out.
It was actually my fault.
Okay. Hey, Nate, if you wouldn't mind, can you send that in our Twitter chat? Because I can't. Unfortunately, another thing I don't like about StreamYard, while we're using it, I can't browse any other web pages on my computer, or else it messes up the stream. If you could send that on Twitter, I'll pull the article up on my phone.
Doing it right now.
Because I can look at other tabs and not have a problem. So I don't know what's up.
My demise right there was my fault because I accidentally was pulling up the article as I was giving my introduction, then it opened up in the same tab.
Oops.
Right. Well, I just want to say it's a bit pricey, but I absolutely love Olive Garden. They could support Bernie Sanders, and I probably would still eat there. So
yeah.
I either haven't eaten there in years, or I've never really eaten there. Because I don't have any memory of ever eating there.
I ate there like once or twice, and that's it.
I think I did maybe once, but I don't remember.
It's been about a year since the last time I went.
No. This is a point that I think I'm not going to say I would never boycott a company based on some kind of political statement they made, but for the most part, if I'm paying someone for a good or service, I really could care less about your politics, so long as you're providing a quality service. Mm-hmm.
Now, the only times I kind of don't like it is when they're kind of shoving it in your face in the actual store or whatever the establishment is. That is kind of annoying, but if they do have a really good product, I can look past it. I'm doing it long enough being in California.
Yeah. And I mean, certainly boycotts can be effective, but I think what makes them typically effective is when the organization is actually not providing quality goods and services. People therefore stop shopping there and they go out of business. All these political boycotts, usually all they end up doing is giving the business if you have a business that is providing quality goods and services but has some kind of political view that so and so doesn't like, it seems to me that the political boycotts of businesses usually just end up drumming up more publicity for the business and making them more popular than ever. That was certainly the case with the LGBT efforts to boycott Chick-fil-A when Starbucks had the coffee cups that no longer read Christmas, and there were some fundamentalist religious groups that were saying boycott Starbucks. It seems to me it only made Starbucks business go up.
Well, you're basically giving them free advertisements to people.
Yeah, exactly.
That reminds me. I can remember when Chick-fil-A was being boycotted or protested against over in New York. Michael Bloomberg, Andrew Cuomo, they were all saying, don't go to Chick-fil-A or whatever. And then John Stossel interviewed people who were in line, and he says, hey, these guys are saying don't eat at Chick-fil-A. And then everybody was like, who cares what politicians think? And some of them even said, fuck you.
That's beautiful.
That's pretty embarrassing right there. You're telling people don't eat there, and then they're giving you the middle finger. That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm reading from the source that I provided. It's saying here, there is a tweet from some guy, Billy Bob Sanders. That's his at Twitter. And he's saying, so here's a list of companies supporting Trump's reelection. Bang, In-N-Out, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, Pizza Hut, Olive Garden, Waffle House, IHOP, Carl's Jr. So I guess we shouldn't be eating at any of these places then.
How about just don't eat out, period? Because that's pretty much what it's sounding like to me.
I just shared the link in the chat for all those interested who are currently watching. Yeah, somehow I'm pretty sure all the super liberals eat at least one of these places, and even the Alyssa Milanos of the world are not dedicated enough to stop eating at every last one of these places.
Mm.
I am interested at the list. So I don't know, but certainly I have not taken the time to verify the veracity of all these companies supporting Trump's reelection. Waffle House, I can believe. KFC, I can believe. Chick-fil-A, I can believe. McDonald's, Olive Garden, Pizza Hut, IHOP. Those don't strike me as right-wing type business owners, but whatever.
Well, IHOP says that they don't make political donations. They said we're about pancakes, not politics.
And you know what? Good for them. That is exactly what restaurants are supposed to be about.
There you go.
If nothing else, people ought to learn from Gillette, who apparently lost like $1.5 billion in sales since they did their whole toxic masculinity thing.
Yeah.
For those who are saying that the market can't regulate itself, that sounds like the market regulating itself to me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, the people who say the market can't regulate itself are the leftists who think that because their boycotts of Chick-fil-A didn't work, the market can't regulate itself.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is working. It's just not working the way you want it to. Let's see. Of all these, though, I gotta say, so obviously Chick-fil-A is amazing. Never really cared for Taco Bell, though I do like their AM Crunch Wraps.
I love tacos.
Okay.
The first time I ever went to Taco Bell was when I went to Texas in the US, and it was awful. I felt awful for like 2 days afterwards.
I'm with you there, Pipsqueak.
Never doing that again.
Yeah, me and Taco Bell have never sat well together.
The only reason I like Taco Bell is just because it was on the other side of town for me. I would never usually go there. So either with kids or it would be a special occasion with my mom. So I would always really like it just because I never got it. But it's, I don't care. And though, to be fair, I don't really care for Mexican food, period. So.
Let's see, McDonald's. Don't really care for McDonald's, but it is the cheapest one on the market. So
Yeah.
I don't
really
either.
need some. If you need quick food and you need it cheap, McDonald's is always the go-to.
Yeah.
In-N-Out Burger, I've been to only a handful of times when I visited California. IHOP, decent pancakes. As for Olive Garden is pricey, but I love Olive Garden. I will say I took a date to Olive Garden once. We got a bottle of wine, unlimited salad and breadsticks, chicken parmesan. Well, I had chicken parmesan, but then we finished the night off with these like Italian donut things that you dunk in chocolate. Oh, delicious.
What's Wendy's like?
Why are you making me hungry?
Sorry. I gotta say, Pipsqueak, Wendy's is, in my opinion, Wendy's is one of.
Wendy's in Australia is mainly an ice cream place, and they sell like hot dogs on the side.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Hang on.
What were we going to say about Wendy's 2 cents?
Okay, well, Pipsqueak was asking. What I didn't realize he wasn't finished yet, but so Wendy's in the U.S. I'd say is one of the higher end fast food in my opinion. They have fresh burgers. Their chicken's pretty good. I mean, obviously it is fast food, so it's not like it's gonna be as nice as a sit down restaurant. But if you're looking for higher quality fast food, I'd put Wendy's up there. Wendy's, I'd put like the burger version of Chick-fil-A. It's pretty good fast food, but I'd go there for burgers, not chicken.
Oh, Darkon's in the backstage, just so you know.
Oh, yes. Sorry, guys. The other thing I don't like when people join, you actually have to manually add them. Oh, Night Shift's here, too.
Oh, cool.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Now we have 7 people.
7? Are you on crack? How do you get 7 people?
Because Scorch is with me.
Scorch and Mag are sharing a mic.
Oh,
Sorry, I thought you guys were
okay.
starting at 8.
What happened to your mic, Darkon?
So sorry, Night Shift.
Wait 1 second.
I started it early.
All right.
Oh, Night Shift, you should be able to add in your avatar.
Yeah, if you look in the corner, you'll kind of see like a you're in the show. Right next to that, you click on that and you put whatever profile picture you want.
Testing,
All right, sounds
testing.
good.
Does my mic sound better now?
That's much better.
Later.
Okay, sorry about
You
that.
guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can.
Okay.
But apparently, when I started
Sorry,
to
I'm
join,
kind of in my car at the moment.
apparently when I started to join the default settings on my
So
on
what
my
is our
streaming
current topic?
server,
Just to
excuse
fill you
me.
guys in, we were talking about Nate shared an article from Newsweek about all these restaurants that are currently being boycotted by prominent leftists because they allegedly support Donald Trump's reelection. Among them, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, McDonald's, In-N-Out Burger, IHOP, Olive Garden.
can everyone hear me?
Oh,
Night Shift?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear.
Night Shift, can you hear me?
Weird
Hello,
thing
Night
is,
Shift.
I already did need a Chick-fil-A, but it wasn't for that.
I don't think-
it wasn't for that. reason.
You're quiet, Night Shift.
Well,
know.
I can hear
I
Night
don't know how
Shift,
to
but
fix that. I really don't.
I don't know
how
if Night Shift can hear me though. Honestly,
Night Shift, refresh. You should be able to refresh.
We just lost them.
Yeah. Well,
By the way, Darkon, you gave me an ear rape with that.
yeah. Sorry about that. But as I was trying to say before, Night Shift interrupted me, but I think he can't hear me.
I
Oddly
can
enough,
really hear
but
you. You're quiet.
But anyway, thing is that my default settings apparently had me on my webcam mic, and the mic that is attached to my webcam is absolute shit. So therefore, I had to manually set my mic so that it's on my, my regular mic right here. Stand
No.
mic.
Am I
Gotcha,
coming
no
in
problem.
louder now?
Yes, that is much better, Night Shift.
Okay, beautiful.
Yay!
Can you hear him, Darkon?
I can. I was just wondering if he could hear me earlier.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Problem solved.
So,
Hallelujah.
are we still on the subject that you guys were talking about before?
Well,
Yeah.
yes, we kind of moved on to what we like about those individual restaurants, but
Yeah.
if you have any
Oh.
thoughts to share, by all means, please do.
McDonald's is shit, and Wendy's is a lot better.
Yes.
And so is Taco Bell. Taco Bell is Mexican food.
I have to personally say, because it was near me, it has a little bit more influence in my childhood at least, but I really like Jack in the Box, especially a few years ago when they actually kind of made good products, but nowadays they're kind of lowering the quality in my opinion. But it will always be a part of my childhood because that would always be our treat that we would always get. Because we never went out.
I used
I'll
to
admit.
like strips.
Oh, go ahead.
Apparently, there's somebody in the chat named G Devil that's all like, I wish Mag was reading chat.
I mean, I can. Should I be scared?
He's just talking shit.
Yeah.
So like, Maggie, Mama says Olive Garden, the devil. Okay, Maggie is the enemy. What? Chick-fil-A hates queers. Notice they didn't go after the blacks. LMAO. Okay.
Yeah.
At Patrick, they have to pander to their biggest customer base. I'm extreme left, or is it right? I can't remember. Shut up, Maggie. Slaps Maggie. LOL. I like your style, Patrick. Heck, Arby's costs an arm and a leg. Maggie can't count. Just because you've brought baggage, Maggie, doesn't mean they count. think he's.
Why I can't count? What the hell does that mean?
I think he's talking about Scorch. I was all like earlier, Meg, are you on crack? Because there's 6 people in the call, and then you said that you were that you had Scorch in the background. So,
I'll be right back. I got to go in somewhere.
No problem.
Okay, no problem.
Taco Bell is fake Mexican food. Don't be fooled.
Mhm.
I got a question for everyone. Would they consider Olive Garden to be fake Italian food?
Probably.
Yeah,
I mean, I am an Italian, and I literally don't care.
it's American style, American size, American style Italian.
Yeah, I actually remember Jay Leno showing a headline saying "Real Chinese food made in New York City."
Real Chinese food. It includes steak in there.
I personally believe that if you want to have, of course, like the food, whatever not, it also has to come with the experience within the sense of like when you're actually, say, for example, you're in Japan and you have Japanese food, you have the experience of being in the restaurants there, you're in the atmosphere, whatever not, and you have really good tasting food there. So I don't think, like, even if you have Japanese food here, it will never be the same Japanese food because you don't have that experience factor.
But by the way,
the other thing is, like, is it food from that country that people eat on a regular basis, or is it just food that originated in that country that has now become famous?
Or is it food that was created somewhere else, but was based on that particular country, like fortune cookies, for example, made in America or invented in America, but based off of Chinese culture?
Mhm.
They call that American Chinese cookies in China.
You know, this makes me think. I watched a TV special about the history of pizza once, and at least what this it was mainly following the restaurant Lombardi's in New York City, but the point they made is they said pizza, when it got, at least if you go back to Italy, pizza was basically the peanut butter and jelly sandwich of Italian factory workers. When it the first thing that was called pizza was just a crust of bread with tomato sauce. It was effectively a simple meal that the poor person could bring to work with him and would get him through the rest of the day. It wasn't something that would have been considered the most desirable meal. It's only when Italian immigrants to America in New York City, actually, and particularly this restaurant in Lombardi's, got a little more mixed up a little bit and started adding stuff to the mix, like cheese and whatnot, that pizza actually became famous. But according to this, and obviously I didn't fact check any of this, but they were saying that pizza, the worldwide phenomenon that everybody orders on Friday nights, actually is really is Italian immigrants to America, not Italian.
Yeah, I am
kind of like hot dogs too.
I know of a lot of old crotchety Italian women who would disagree with you a bit, but to be fair, I've been to Italy, and the last time I was in Italy, the tomatoes were fucking amazing. I don't know whether it's the climate or the soil or what, but Italian tomatoes actually from Italy are amazing.
Oh my god, yes, I've been there before and I've had it. Oh my god, you're right. And also, 2 cents to what you said, just the pizza dough with the tomato sauce, that sounded like heaven because that is my favorite way to have pizza. Fight me on it. I don't care. I love it so much.
I gotta read G Devil in the chat here. He says, Maggie, I'm your biggest fan. This is Stan. And he also says, I could eat pizza till I die. And I can somewhat sympathize with that because pizza is one of those foods that is hard to get old for me.
Exactly. I mean,
that's lasagna for me. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but pizza's one of those things usually everybody can agree on. So, like, if you've got a group of people and you need to get dinner quick, you're gonna be hard pressed to find someone who says, "I won't eat pizza."
Yep.
Well, I just said the most funniest thing. Pizza's like sex. Even if it's bad, it's still good.
No. Okay, so pizza is easy to agree on. What's not easy to agree on, and what will potentially start wars, is the toppings that you put on pizza.
Oh yeah, like pineapple, which I actually like. Fight me.
No.
Pineapple on pizza is Satan.
Yes.
I agree with you, Night Shift. Well, actually,
So
no,
do
I wouldn't say that's Satan, but I mean, I'm not like S-Man Speaks, who is like a zealous anti-pineapple on pizza person.
Question for everybody. Question for everyone. Which is the best pizza? Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, Round Table, Domino's. Which ones?
Certainly not Pizza Hut. I think of those that I recognize. I think of those that I recognize. I would say Domino's for right now.
What about Papa John's?
Papa John's is the best. Yes.
Yes, I really like Papa John's. It's a little
What about?
I don't know. I feel like that in comparison to Domino's, that Papa John's is just a little bit on the dry side, but that's just me.
Mm.
I like those.
I mean, Round Table is pretty pricey. Round Table's pretty pricey, but it's pretty good, in my opinion. Just saying.
Oh my God, we used to have Round Table pizzas here in Idaho, and they disappeared. And that's another thing I want to come back, along with 7-Elevens and Circle K's. I'd love to see those make a resurgence in Idaho.
I remember in my town, they actually did still have a Pizza Hut there, like still working or not, and people would still go there all the time. I remember going there as a child. It's still
there's a single working Pizza Hut here in Idaho. I don't know where all these places are going. I don't know why they're leaving the state.
All I know is I have one in my town. I don't know anywhere else. I just know I have one in my town because I used to walk there.
All right, I'll give you my 2 cents here. Pizza Hut, I can go for the traditional stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. I like, but any other pizza, I'd probably rather go with Domino's or Papa John's.
I don't like stuffed crust.
I like stuff.
Yeah.
The good news about Domino's Pizza, remember, folks, they build roads, and they do a much better job at it.
Ah, damn, you beat me to it. You beat me to the comment. I was going to say, go with the guys that build the road.
Yeah, and it's totally voluntary, too. You give your money voluntarily to them in exchange for a pizza, and they use that money for good. So there you go.
Now let's make that all the companies. Let's make that all the companies out there.
Can we please?
No joke. I'd actually seen a meme that said America, where that pizza restaurants build the roads, electric companies fund water services, referencing to Elon Musk funding some money towards Flint's water service. And America is $20 trillion in debt. That was the meme right there. And I actually decided to do a Strike Force news stream talking primarily about that as a piece of example against the whole socialist narrative that rich people are just a bunch of good for nothing, soulless devils and so forth. I mean, Elon Musk, as far as I can tell, he's a bit of an asshole and he's kind of slanderous from what I vaguely hear about the guy, but at least there's that. At least he, in comparison to other rich people, at least he actually donated money to somebody's water service, especially to a city that needs it badly. That being Flint, of course. Crickets.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Crickets.
No, actually, fair point. I mean, I guess where I'm torn is a lot of these rich people are, in fact, political entrepreneurs, and as much as they do get in bed with politicians, but at the same time, and that is in part why their companies do grow to be as big as they are. But at the same time, their companies at least started off from, they started out as market entrepreneurs. They created a product that everyone wants and it took off. And many of them do actually donate a significant amount of money to charity. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. I mean, say what you will about them as individuals, but they do actually contribute a large amount to private social spending.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Gates is highly disagreeable from what I know on the surface, but I don't know of anything that would be worthy of outright, hating the man or anything like that, except for the fact that he's rich. Apparently, that in of itself is a sin alone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole leftist narrative is effectively that anyone who's rich, and I mean, obviously it comes from Marxism, but the idea that anyone who's rich, the only reason they got rich is because they stepped on other people to get rich. They effectively stole their wealth, and all that wealth is just sitting under their bed. They're swimming in a pool of gold coins like Scrooge McDuck every day, which of course is not true, but
stole, quote unquote.
Yeah. But the money isn't just sitting under their bed. It's invested, and it's actually creating jobs and helping the economy. And two, they only got as rich as they did because they created a product that actually immensely improved people's lives. Now, we can get into the specifics about maybe you can say they got super rich when they got in bed with politicians and regulatory capture and all that, but at least initially, most of those companies. I mean, Bezos has unfortunately become a political entrepreneur, but given the fact that Amazon was started in a warehouse with a wood burn stove or whatever, he earned it, or at least the most of it.
Yeah. By the way, I gotta ask. This might be a little bit out of left field, but what does everybody think of the upcoming Obi-Wan story that's coming out? The movie, I mean, and then the Mandalorian series that's coming out on Disney Plus.
I had heard that the Obi-Wan thing was just a prank that fan made on YouTube. Is it official now?
I don't know. I saw it off of a channel called Smasher. The trailer.
Let me see.
I would say if they do that, they do kind of have a lot of information on you if you look at like the comic books or whatever not and the outside stuff. There was like a lot of information on Obi-Wan as well. So they have enough material to work with to make a pretty good story. So
oh my goodness.
I'm actually more excited about the Mandalorian. However, if any of these things are if the movies Solo, Rogue One are any indicators of what we're going to get with these things, I'm not that overly excited.
Hey, Rogue One was fucking awesome, you heathen.
Okay. According to what I just Googled,
Jedi that burned me. I refuse to get hyped about these things anymore.
I guess no one could blame you. What were you saying, 2 cents?
I was saying I just Googled it. According to what I see here, the Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be a series on this new Disney streaming service, not a movie.
Maybe the specific trailer that I saw was a prank. I mean, it did show a whole bunch of footage of Ewan McGregor shaved up, and I was thinking to myself, why did he decide to trim off his beard? Like, he had basically just a 5 o'clock shadow, and it was just footage of him in the desert mostly. So that probably was a prank. It wouldn't make sense to me as to why the Obi-Wan would trim off his beard. I mean, you already had basically in episodes 1 through 3 the buildup of his mustache to where in episode 3 he basically had the exact same hairstyle as what's his name? The actor who played as Obi-Wan in episode 4.
That would be Alec Guinness.
Alec Guinness, yeah, that's what his name was.
I have to say I agree with Pipsqueak. I can't really bring myself to get pumped about Star Wars anymore, given how Disney's handled the last few movies.
Right.
that's my take on that.
I'm still kind of intrigued. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, after episode 8, I was thinking that there's no way that you can get me interested in episode 9. But the fact that they are possibly going to do time travel with episode 9. Or at least that's one of the theories anyways. I'm just thinking to myself, you kind of got my eyebrows raised for that.
Well,
it could be either really bad or really good. Either way, it gets me intrigued.
Well, question, who here thinks it's possible that Rey, the character Rey, might actually be a Palpatine?
Might be Palpatine. The theory that I was
might be from the Palpatine family line.
The theory that I was going for was that she's Shmi Skywalker. Unless Shmi Skywalker is revealed to be part of the Palpatine family line.
That wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Although, actually, I got talking about this in one of my Twitter group chats about Rey possibly being Shmi Skywalker, going back in time to the times of episode 1 or 10 years before that, so that she could give birth to Anakin Skywalker. But basically, the thing that I pointed out was, now that I think about it, Rey actually does look very similar to Shmi Skywalker. She looks like Shmi if she was 10 or 11 years younger. And then one of the people in that Twitter group chat was all like, that's what the problem that I have is with that. I mean, was J.J. Abrams planning that from the very start? So...
Yeah, I think if that really is what Disney did, I think they'll have fundamentally killed Star Wars. I do not think that'll be well received.
In my opinion, they already did.
Mm-hmm. Well, they already have, but I don't think they're irredeemable. I think if they knock it out of the park with Episode 9, they possibly can redeem themselves. But
Yeah.
will they? That's the question.
Well, knock it out of the park, relatively speaking, because you still have the fact that, according to canon now, Rey needs barely any training for herself to become like basically one of the most powerful Jedi of all Star Wars history.
Which basically gets rid of everything from the originals. Thanks. When he had to do his training. Anyone remember that?
Yeah, Luke Skywalker. I mean,
basically what would be the same background.
It took Luke Skywalker months to be able to master Jedi mind trick that he would eventually use or attempt to use in Episode 6 on Jabba the Hutt. But apparently, Rey does not need any training. She doesn't even need to hear of the power to be able to use it on a stormtrooper in Episode 7.
Now you could make the excuse that he was weak-minded.
That I mean, sure, but I still think that it would take a whole lot of experience to actually know the skill. And not to mention, we don't have any information to show or any implication to know that she even knew of the abilities of the Jedi. Like, all she heard was just legends, and she only vaguely heard of them. She didn't even know if they actually existed. I mean, much less would she have known about all their powers, particularly mind trick.
Yeah.
But we can nitpick about this forever. Do you guys want to keep nitpicking at it?
Let's nitpick it all day. Another nitpick in comparison to old versus new is the fact that Rey at the end of Episode 8, she was able to lift an entire avalanche, an entire big pile of rocks up in the air, whereas Luke was struggling to lift 2 rocks while on handstanding, of course. But I guess there is a point to say that would also be a reason as to why he struggled. But he wasn't able to lift his own X-Wing out of the swamp. But when he had, I don't know, I'd say 1 week's training with Yoda. But Rey with, let's say 2 or 3 days training with Luke is able to just with ease lift an entire pile of rocks out of the way for her compatriots in the end of Episode 8. That's some bullshit right there.
And even in I know not many people like so much of the prequels, but even in the prequels, Yoda, the strongest, had struggled lifting up rocks when they were about to crush.
Oh, you're talking about the pillar in Episode 2?
Yes.
Yeah, when it was about to fall.
Yeah, he was struggling. You could see it. The strongest person.
Yeah.
Gotta keep in mind he's old.
Yeah, he's 900 or whatever.
Keep in mind he's old and he was able to lift the plane in the original. Keep in mind that's even older. And he was going to die in, let's say, about a week.
I'd say... Go ahead.
I was going to say, there's an idea. Have Disney do a series about young Yoda.
Oh, the only part of that has lived for so long. Where would you start? What would you do?
Hang on, I'm just gonna start a new argument here. Admiral Holder was a worse character than Jar Jar Binks.
Wait, what did you say? I didn't catch that.
Admiral Holder is a worse character than Jar Jar Binks. Fight me.
Yeah, at least they weren't being as ambitious. Well, actually, I was about to say that at least they weren't being as ambitious with Jar Jar Binks. He was just meant to be some stupid comedy relief. But then again, I got thinking to myself, was George... There was all the theories and whatnot that George Lucas was possibly planning for him to be a plot twist villain in the prequels. But then as soon as from the backlash of Episode 1 had churned out, he decided to slowly start scrapping that idea.
Misa, think you may be right about that. Betcha.
I'm gonna be fully honest. Fight me on it, I don't care. I don't hate Jar Jar, and the reason why is because I can't stand 3CPO. He's so annoying. I love R2D2, but oh my god, I don't like 3CPO every time. I don't like him in the originals, prequels, etc. I don't care. He's so annoying.
There is a point to be made there, actually. I mean, why is it that everybody can either ignore or respect C-3PO, but then everybody hates Jar Jar Binks?
Because he's only there when he needs to be.
I mean,
he's only there to be a comic or he's only there to make R2D2 look funnier when he doesn't need to be. R2D2 is funny by himself. He doesn't need him there.
Besides, C-3PO he's tolerable at least. He's actually tolerable.
C-3PO is a whiny little bitch. At least Jar Jar Binks.
Here's the difference. Everyone in the prequels treats 3CPO as a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, I mean, at least Jar Jar Binks had some gonads to actually fight in a battle in Star Wars Episode 1.
I mean, he did something, and if it was all literally by accident, he should not have ever been able to hold power.
Yeah, fortune favors Jar Jar Binks. He gets a droid stuck on his foot, and it just so happens that every time he kicks, the blaster shoots. He opens up a Gungan tank, and right at the right moment, and all those blue energy things blow up all the...
Do you guys know the theory of Jar Jar being actually a Sith Lord?
That's what I was trying to make reference to earlier.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of that.
G Devil says Anakin is a whiny little bitch. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Oh crap! I forgot.
Kylo. That's Kylo.
What?
He's a whiny little bitch.
You know, I just realized that I had said the B word a little bit earlier, but then I forgot there's the no cursing policy that 2 Cents has. Sorry, 2 Cents.
It's all right. It always happens.
I think as long as you don't say it too much, it should be fine. And you don't say anything that's really bad, like I did.
I'm
just can't top what I said.
I'm just going to be like South Park and be like Cartman, just singing "She's a B" to the tune of that one song, or just say the S word repeatedly over and over and over again, like that one guy.
I'm not finishing that sentence, but you know who I mean.
But yeah, I agree. Night Shift. Kylo absolutely was as well. Anakin and Kylo share that in common.
Yeah. The question is, who is the bigger wimp, though?
Yeah.
Kylo definitely.
Freaking the Clone Wars animated series, Anakin is a lot better than Kylo. Right?
Yeah, I saw some reviews about the Clone Wars series.
If you haven't watched it, you should. It's excellent.
I mean, Obi-Wan was pretty good, even in the main anthology, I'd say, but... So the way that somebody summed up Obi-Wan Kenobi, it was a likable dad humor type character that he had in the Clone Wars. Or something like that. There's some select episodes that they said that you should watch if you want to actually watch this series, and there was some episodes that you should skip, just as a forewarning to all the more mature Star Wars fans, and all those included Jar Jar. Yeah, Jar Jar episodes. But it must run in the family, the Skywalkers being a bunch of wimps, because
I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah. And this is why people liked Han Solo better.
Hey guys, question. You can say either like why or not, but basically, which of the three are your favorites? The newest ones that are coming out, the prequels, or the originals? Star Wars.
Originals, hands down.
Originals. Also, I was trying to say this, but my mic was muted. Say what you will about Anakin Skywalker. At least he didn't throw a bunch of little sissy fits with his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
except on the Tusken Raiders.
But then the prequels and then the newest shit is just crap.
Well,
hold on.
I actually like the prequels. I like it better.
No, the prequels is better.
I continue to maintain that the prequels had a good storyline, but it was executed badly.
Well, I will say this. Episodes 3 and Episode 6 are my most favorite Star Wars movies.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, Episode 6 is my absolute favorite, and Episode 3 kind of goes up there because they really try to pull on the drama right there with the one end line between Anakin and Obi-Wan. You're the chosen one who said that you would bring balance to the Force, not leave it in... Well, okay, I effed up the line right there, but...
Not leave it in darkness!
Yeah, the one kind of tearjerker line is the part when he was all like, "You're my brother, Anakin, and I loved you." I mean, I guess it's kind of cheesy, kind of ham-fisted, but
But it works
still.
for the scene. It kind of
Yeah,
works.
episode 3 was good. I
Yeah.
like it. My favorite is episode 5, but number 3 is pretty good.
3 is
Actually-
my favorite.
Actually, I want to say this: the real tearjerker moment in the movies for me was after Anakin became Darth Vader, and he thought that he thought he'd actually killed Padme, and he was basically just that big no.
That was corny as hell.
Did you guys hear the theory too, where since the Sith Lord was able to take life, like bring back life or not, what if he took the life from Padme and put it into Anakin, which made it so he would live? There's a theory on that. What do you guys think about that?
Oh my gosh, I'm getting tired of all these theories.
Why? They're fun.
It's giving me a headache. I'm getting tired of it.
You know,
I gotta agree with Nate on that one.
Oh, I love theories.
Same.
I mean, I liked all the theories about Snoke possibly being Darth Plagueis, but then they kind of took a massive dump on that when they decided to kill him off in episode 8, like 2/3 of the way through the movie.
And then Abrams realized he had to bring back Palpatine for episode 9.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson basically
Look,
took.
guys, it's Palpatine. You guys love Palpatine, right? Please come watch this film.
Okay. Anyways. Can we get off of Star Wars? Because I want to talk about it.
I kind of want to like mention one thing about my own comparison of the trilogies. I will say that the prequel trilogies had a grander scale to them, and they had like bigger battles, which that's kind of more fascinating. But for like classic feel and like character interactions that are better, the original trilogy is better in that department.
Yeah, I agree to that.
I can see that criticism. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's move on.
Oh, did you guys see my recreation of the Liar Liar roast scene? Oh, it's not a video. It's not a video. It's...
You're talking about the script that you sent out in the group chat?
Yes. Yes.
Haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen... Oh, it's on your Discord in the DM.
Well, I've read it. I think I've read the script, and it's all right. I guess it would be a whole lot more entertaining if I had seen it on video rather than on paper.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody wants to recreate it and replace the faces there and, all the rest of that, well, fine. Because I don't have the technology to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But if you read the script, it's amazingly accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're reading it, Night Shift?
Oh, no. I was just thinking how hilarious it would have been if you'd recreated like the traffic pullover scene.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Actually, hands down, my favorite scene in that movie was when Jim Carrey was waiting by the elevator, and then that one woman comes up, and she's like, "Alexa," and he screams, "Holy hell!"
Yeah, I will admit, guys, there have been a few times when I was in school I would act like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar. For real. One time someone called my name and I was doing the la 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 la
La la la la la la la la.
I don't know if it's just because like of me or whatever not, but to me, Night Shift sounds really quiet, or at least compared to the rest of us. Is that just me?
No, I think he did get more quiet.
And now he's mute.
I'm working on my my new profile picture here. Did you guys like see on Twitter that I had posted a picture of myself, and then I was all like, "New profile picture coming soon."
No, but I'm about to look it
I'll
up.
have to look for that.
Yeah, you only have to like scroll down a little bit in my page, I think.
I haven't been on Twitter very much, so.
Twitter is a shithole. Oh, oops, sorry, my bad.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, I meant for the cursing on the Christian Minecraft server. There's no cursing on this Christian Minecraft server. Darn it.
You swear in my Christian Minecraft server! Sorry, I had to.
Not a bad photo, Darkon, but I'd change the background.
No, of course. That's what I'm working on. I'm like, gonna be animating it like my pictures. And the original picture that I had first had for myself when I decided to go political on my channel, it was a picture of me just scowling into the camera. It kind of looked like a school shooter type picture. It was kind of bad.
Oh, if you want to see scowling, did you see last night when I was, what was it, like socialist monopoly? I had the picture of you're doing too well for yourself. That's not socialism. In my fucking face, I look so mad because I was so pissed.
I was laughing so hard.
Okay.
Can you hear me
Night
now?
Shift. Yeah, I can hear
It's
you.
a lot better, Night Shift.
There we go.
Oh, Night Shift. Remember the part lawyer where what's her name was saying Mr. Reed, and then Jim Carrey's like Mr. Reed, Mr. Buh.
I love that.
Mr. Reed or Mr. Reed. Okay, I gotcha.
Oh my gosh!
Come on! How can it be proof that the male voice in that audio isn't Mr. Cole himself? He's so much a better lover than my husband.
Hey, I got a question here. Has anybody else here seen Hobbs and Shaw in theaters?
No, I
have
haven't
not.
seen it.
I was going to.
Okay, well, I was going to ask some other people a question here, but I guess it would be pointless for me to ask. Plus, it kind of gets into spoiler territory, but not that much.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
It's an all right movie. It's like pretty much a dumb, fun action movie of kind of a 80s, 90s action film type vibe.
That's what I like.
It becomes like a buddy spy movie more than anything.
Well, I know Night Shift's gonna like anything to do with the 80s.
Yes, and the early 90s.
Yeah.
You should be happy to know that 80s music is starting to make a comeback.
Oh, I know, and I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely thrilled.
Except it's not coming from pop singers.
Are you trying to make a reference to Ed Sheeran and what's his face singing making a song called "Blow"?
No. I'm talking about metal singers are bringing back 80s music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought when you said you weren't talking about pop singers singing rock songs, I thought that was what you were referencing to. You weren't referring to Ed Sheeran.
God, no.
I
mean,
got lost.
have you guys heard of that song by Ed Sheeran making a song called "Blow"?
No, I don't really like Ed
Ed
Sheeran.
Sheeran since "Love with Your Body" or whatever that song is, "Shape of You."
Oh no, I hate that song.
I'm in love with the shape of you. Oh man, you're right.
Oh God, no.
It's kind of petty. I mean, it's just I only like your body. Like that is going to be a healthy relationship right there.
Yeah. Well, at least he's being honest with her.
Honestly though, it's not just the metal I like, it's the synthwave. It's the fact that synthwave is really bringing back like 80s new wave sounds. So good.
I like heavy metal and hair metal, but I don't like death metal or anything like that.
Death metal.
What about thrash?
I don't think I've heard of thrash. Is that a band or is that another subgenre of metal?
It's thrash metal.
Oh, I don't think I've heard any of that particular kind.
Has anyone ever heard of pirate metal? I know Night Shift has.
Oh yeah.
Who else here thinks that hair metal is a highly underrated genre of music?
It is. It totally is.
Now I know why I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, you got bands like Cinderella, Poison, and Yeah, literally, the band's name is Cinderella, but they kick ass. Like, look up "Nobody's Fool" or "Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone." Those are pretty good songs. Like,
there's a
yeah.
band called Cinderella.
No,
Yes. How did you not know that?
No crap. Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I guess they're more like a glam metal or something with the way that they are. But
Next
yeah,
thing I know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, the most popular and most well known that comes to hair metal is like bands like Def Leppard, Motley Crue, and Kiss and Twisted Sister. Like, those are the main ones that people think of. People haven't heard of Autograph or Cinderella hardly at all. And Poison, that's people have heard like Don't Want Nothing But a Good Time, but they don't. Hardly anybody knows Every Rose Has Its Thorn or Fallen Angel. What?
Has anyone ever heard of I just one of my Discord friends just showed me genres of the songs, but has anyone ever heard of, I think it's called like Western punk? Basically take Western songs and take metal and combine them together, and it's beautiful.
Western punk.
If I could show you some of those songs, I would, but I don't have my stuff up right now. But some of them are really, really good.
Okay,
weird.
Who here have heard the songs "Every Rose Has Its Thorns" and oh god, "Something to Believe In"?
I feel like I have.
I heard those songs.
Okay, those are songs by Poison, and they are awesome.
I've only heard "Every Rose Has Its Thorn," but "Some to Believe In." I haven't gone my way to listen to that one. Maybe I'll pull it up on another browser here. Just listen
really
for it. Listen to it for later.
Funny, a band called Cinderella. Next thing I know, there's going to be a band called Snow White or Rapunzel or
Actually, that does sound like an awesome concept right there. Just hair bands that are like hair metal bands that are named after freaking
Disney princesses.
Exactly.
Well, you know, after all the years that bands have existed, people are going to start running out of originality.
True.
Well, they are metalizing stuff.
Yeah, but I still think that music has more originality than Hollywood.
Yeah, they should not. They should never metalize any feminist garbage stuff from Beyonce, from Lady Gaga, from Ariana Grande. They better not metalize that song "God Is a Woman." Oh, I shouldn't have given that idea out. Never mind. Sorry.
I just found one of the songs my Discord friend showed me of the stuff I was talking about earlier. Do you guys want to hear it? Or not hear it, but do you guys want to know the song title and whatever not?
What is it?
Sure.
I just lost it. It was Red Still Stay Alive. Red Stay Alive. They're like an underniche band, but I've been listening to a couple of their songs. Wait,
good. The song is the band is called Red?
No, the song is called Red.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, I'm wrong. The band is called Red, and the song is called Already Over.
Oh, I listened to Red. They're really good.
Oh, like they do some Christian songs. I think like they were at the Wichita Winter Jam here at one point. It was the Winter Jam is just a coalition of a whole bunch of Christian contemporary bands. Like Red was there, Newsboys is of course always there, and they're always like the ending show. Some band called Crowder, I think, is what it's called, and. Thanks a lot. I will now for always think of Steven Crowder when I think of the band Crowder.
There's also a power metal band, a Christian power metal band called Theocracy. They're really good.
Theocracy.
Yeah,
that is a name. That's a name that will trigger all the militant anti-theists.
Yeah, no. I am now triggered, but just by the name of that.
What?
I have a kind of a question for 2 cents. I'm not trying to.
Yeah. What's up, Meg?
I see the thing's gone on for 54 minutes, but I know since if we're having good discussions, you like to go for a little bit longer.
Yeah, we started early, so I'll let it go over for a little bit.
Okay.
I got a question here. Does how many people here have like listened to the song "Wrong Side of Heaven" by Five Finger or Death Punch?
Yes. I have a friend
I
who
haven't heard that
loved
yet.
song.
I haven't heard that one yet.
That one's good.
Oh, go and listen to it. It's like basically an homage to the Troops. How they're like
Listen to the music video version. They have so many good stuff in there. It's like tear jerking.
Yep, it's basically a messages of how like they're undertreated when they come home, basically. But anyway,
Some of the stuff that end up like some of the stuff they say is actually a little bit true, and it's sad.
The reason why I bring it up though is that there's like one line of where that they're singing "I spoke to God today," and she said she's ashamed, but basically using a female pronoun to describe God, and I think they're. I mean, typically speaking, we refer to God as He, but in all reality, He really is agendered. He has no real gender. But I think that Five Finger Death Punch right there was just doing that to kind of be edgy, whereas Beyonce or whatever the F the girl was that made the song, you'll know that God is a woman.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah, Ariana Grande. I'm pretty sure that was
my 2 cents
political.
and I did a crossover for that.
Yeah,
and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I made a comment underneath that video saying I'm pretty sure that is pretty much political, whereas Five Finger Death Punch was just describing God as a woman, or at least using woman pronouns just to be edgy, like no particular message.
I think it was supposed to be. It would be kind of like in the same way where you disappoint your mother. I think that's kind of what it was kind of leaning towards.
Okay.
Or something else like that.
Has anybody heard the Five Finger Death Punch song called "Coming Down"?
I've heard of it.
No.
You haven't heard that song? That's a good one.
Coming Down, I have not. Like I've listened to quite a bit of Five Finger, but not that one.
Yeah.
God, oh man, I do not know Five Finger Death Punch. I've not heard a lot of their songs.
Yeah, they're pretty
Neither
good.
have I.
They're a pretty good band.
Yeah.
I listened
would say
to.
their band's a little bit better in terms of like metal rock, but they're still pretty good too.
Okay, wait a minute. You've never heard of Cinderella? Have you at least heard of Iron Maiden?
I have heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of Iron Maiden.
I've heard of Iron Maiden, but I don't know if I particularly could get invested into them. I don't know.
I love their music. I've loved it ever since the 80s.
It'd probably be a band that I would have to listen a few times to actually get into them. Like Rob Zombie, for example, when I first heard his songs, they were kind of off-putting at first, but I just get more and more invested as I listen to them more. Like Dragula and Living Dead Girl, More Human Than Human, stuff like that.
Have you guys heard of Disturbed?
I like them, but to be honest, they're a little.
Who hasn't? They went kind of viral on the internet with their remake of Simon Garfunkel's Sound of Silence.
Yeah.
I loved that cover. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the cover comes up. That's the when you type the Sounds of Silence into YouTube. That's the first thing that comes up instead of Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah. Hey guys,
Rip.
It's getting late over here, so I gotta get going.
Okay, no problem.
All right, Mag. Have a great one.
You too.
See you later.
And bye, Scorch.
She's one to be talking about it getting late. I mean, she lives in Cali, but
I'm in Texas, FYI. Bye.
You're what?
She's not in Cali right now, is what she said.
She's in Texas. She has escaped from the People's Republic of Cali.
Well,
Yes.
heck, I'm in Kansas, so it's almost 10 for me.
I'm still stuck here in California. I need to get out somehow.
I feel so sorry for you, dude.
Yeah.
As do I.
Yeah, we pay pretty much every single tax ever here.
Oh God, that's horrible.
And people keep voting and voting and voting and voting for it.
The only thing that they haven't taxed is like literally every time you compress your lungs for a breath.
Yep.
Well, Gavin Newsom is proposing to tax people for drinking water. No
What?
joke. No joke there.
How about they stop rerouting their water sources for their farms into the ocean for F's sake?
Getting tired of our creepy governor here. And I'm ashamed that Kamala Harris is one of our senators. So I'm sorry, ladies and gents, for what she's done.
You don't have to take responsibility.
Luckily, I never voted for her, so I don't care.
All right, say what you will about Tulsi Gabbard. It seems all but certain that Tulsi Gabbard has killed any chance that Kamala Harris had of being president.
Yeah, actually, Matt Walsh
I'm
did
kinda
like a
happy.
special. Matt Walsh did a special about how Tulsi Gabbard is like one of the more respectful ones towards Christianity. I think I don't know. I remember what exactly the subject was about, what her commentary was and whatnot. But there is one thing that majorly disappoints me about her, aside from the fact that she is for an assault weapons ban, as we found out yesterday on our. As we found out, well, no, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before yesterday on my 2020 election discussion stream. But Tulsi Gabbard apparently is in the same camp as Andrew Yang and want to like set up a law or a committee or whatever to regulate the internet and supposed misinformation that goes on there.
Why is anybody surprised? She's a big government progressive. What do you expect?
Big government shill.
I kind of was thinking that she was a little bit more centristy than a whole lot of other people, but I guess that kind of makes that theory go kaput. She's just somebody with a smooth personality and speech and whatnot, just to make herself look and sound pretty. But behind that, all that flowery rhetoric is an aggressive look to encroach on people's, or an aggressive agenda to encroach on people's free speech liberties. Like, you know what is also included in free speech, people, is allowing your opposition to lie or say what you view to be lies.
Yeah, free speech for me, but not for you is not free speech.
Yeah.
If I was to like, if a law like that was to like go into existence on the internet, I would be taken down off of the internet just for saying that Bernie Sanders' healthcare plan will raise federal spending by over $20 trillion in the next 10 years, or federal yearly spending by over $2 trillion at least, because I have been actually accused of lying for that one time. So with that type of, if the people in that committee were to have that type of mentality, I would be censored off the internet.
Well, I would argue that Hillary Clinton is far worse because she's
Bernie Sanders.
No, than Tulsi Gabbard. When it comes to free speech, because Hillary Clinton was for this communications bill that would jail parents because their kids were looking at porn. She supported legislation. She supported legislation to go after metal music, punk music, violent video games with sex and violence and this and that. There were other bills regarding free speech that she does want to regulate the internet, but way beyond net neutrality. And of course, she was like sitting there going, you're going to hear a lot of complaints about this, free speech, etc. And it's like she's sneering at it. It was so.
Isn't she like one of the people that criticized George Bush for being kind of anti-free speech-ish with of how he's saying that nobody should criticize the Iraq War or something like that?
I never heard anything from Hillary about that.
She might have been.
I thought I remember listening to a sound bite of her like saying, "I will not be silenced for my criticism towards the Iraq War," or something like that. And then fast forward about 8 years, and irony comes full force.
Well,
if we're going to talk about irony, I want to say quick. So, Nate, you were saying Hillary supported a law that would, if children were looking at porn, their parents would go to prison.
Yeah.
Okay, and yet she's married to Bill Clinton.
yeah. There you go. What's funny is that that reminds me. In my recreation of the liar roast scene, the guy that's the head of the table, I have as Bill Clinton in his place, and Jim Carrey's boss I have in Hillary's place. So yeah, I basically said that Bill Clinton is a pedantic, pontificating, pretentious bastard, a bludgeon old fart, a worthless, steaming pile of cow dung, figuratively speaking. And then towards the end, I basically said, I'm not going to say the word on here. I'll say it on my show about Hillary. And Jim, he literally points at her. You guys go watch the scene. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god! I just have
you know what
idea for the video.
Yeah,
you
know what?
A great idea for your script, though. I had a great idea. No, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, and then as I'm shaking Bill Clinton's hand, and he's saying he likes my style, I say, "Good. I'll see you in prison, dickhead."
No, dude. Insert this into basically have Bill Clinton be like, "What do you think of Bernie Sanders?" And you're all like, "Bernie Sanders is old. He should have been out of the game years ago, but he can't stay home because he hates his wife." You've seen Bernie Sanders at the stag parties. He's the one who gets plastered. Do something like that. Oh,
well, I did say Bernie is old. He should have been out of politics years ago, but he can't stay home because he hates his wife.
Okay.
and then I said regarding Elizabeth Warren, you met her at the Christmas parties. She's the one who gets plastered and calls him a retard. Yeah, and then I said this about Rahm Emanuel, who was Bill Clinton's advisor when he was president. And I said, and you, Rahm, you're the biggest brown nose I've ever seen. You've got your head so far up Mr. Clinton's ass, I can't tell where you end and he begins. and then I would go to Kirsten Gillibrand and said, you have bad breath caused by gingivitis. And then I said to Anthony Weiner, you couldn't get a porn star off. And then I said to Beto O'Rourke, your hairpiece looks like something that was killed crossing the highway. I don't know whether to comb it or scrape it up with a shovel and bury it alive. And then
by the way, speaking of Kirsten Gillibrand, isn't she like the most radical anti-gunner running for president right now?
I think so.
Well, one of the most, but...
Well, I thought she wanted to like go a step further than Tulsi Gabbard or Bernie Sanders and just confiscate all the guns. Not even going to be discriminating against supposed assault weapons. Just even pistols are not safe.
Wait a minute, Gabbard's a cop.
Honest.
No. Kamala Harris is the cop.
Oh, Kamala Harris is the cop. Okay.
Yeah, she's horrible.
Gabbard is the veteran.
Okay.
Which I guess
she was in the military then.
Yeah, she was.
And she wants firearms confiscated. Oh wow,
how does there become that leap in logic right there?
I know. Oh god.
It's one thing for you to be all like, we need to tax people to like feed the homeless and all that humanitarian stuff right there. But taking away the guns or banning the further sale and production of guns, really?
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Sorry, I guess did I interrupt something you're in the middle of right there, Nate?
Well, I was just going to say to Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, and Obama, I went, loser, idiot, wimp, degenerate. And then to Hillary, I say that.
Oh my God.
It's amazingly accurate if you think about it.
All right. Well, we got about 2 minutes left, so I'm taking a look at the chat if there's anything quick people want us to discuss. Howdy y'all says, have you ever thought about having a debate on some of your streams? I'm not opposed to it. As I've said in the past, if anyone wants to debate me, let me know what the topic is and we'll talk specifics. But
hey, I interview disagreeable people all the time, probably more than anyone else on this call.
That one guy who shall not be named.
Who?
Cult of Ham?
No.
Owen Donald?
Yes.
That was not my channel. That was his channel.
Oh, shucks. Never mind.
Oh, man. That was more insufferable than Ham, although Ham can get pretty bad. Like, he'll just insult people just for daring to disagree. Well, I guess Ham and Owen are kind of the same in some ways.
Yeah.
Except Ham has a little bit more of a sense of humor.
Oh my God, what has Secular Hawk been up to in the last couple of weeks?
He's left the internet.
Oh, thank God.
He's left the internet for right now.
Oh, good.
I will give credit for him actually telling Secular Hawk to shut the fuck up. Sorry for cursing again on this stream, but to shut the f up on one of the atheism versus Christianity debates that S-Man had hosted.
Oh my God! And this hasn't prompted Secular Hawk to take his own life. When even Cult of Ham calls you too obnoxious to debate, it's time to literally hang yourself.
Oh my
Even
gosh.
I haven't went that far.
Oh my gosh! I'm just reading the live chat.
What happened?
G Devil said Hillary makes pantsuits look good.
No.
Bill got his dick sucked. I cannot knock a man for that. Imagine what JFK was doing. Shove Jace. I don't know what he's talking about with JC. I don't know. Moving on. Yes, that was funny. Somebody called Jim Carrey's what? What? I don't get that. Never mind. Okay, getting past that. Yes, I really do like Jim Carrey, though I've lost all respect for him when he said, "We need to say yes to socialism." So that was bad.
This G-Devil guy is a grade A troll, by the way.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. He was. Yeah, never mind.
Well, I don't know if which chat comments that he is trolling or not. Honestly, I'm just saying that he's pretty amusing in the chat. Like he's pretty entertaining and as a troll or to troll your chats.
Yeah, some trolls are entertaining, some aren't. He's more on the entertaining side.
Okay, yeah, now I get it. Okay, that works. That works.
All right. Well, we have reached the end of the hour. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming to Hangout. And as always, that is my 2 cents. So take it for what it's worth.
Our 2 cents. As far as debates go, though, I would be willing to host debates on my channel between the two opposing parties.